Hello, collective. So I'm gonna go in a little vent mode. Okay. It's actually in relation to She's a Genius reading, We Can Attack Her, which is very much factual. But there is one person that kind of got me. Okay. It's definitely somebody that, if it's not, we have been intimate together at some point, it's probably that some of my blood. Okay. Um, And if that's the case, like me, like, but why? What are you doing this for? It's so unhinged and so crazy. To me. Anyone that does any type of magic, like black magic, death spells, love spells, which is the most silliest ones, it dawns on me that people are doing all this when number one, there are like 8 billion on record on people in this reality as I speak. You want to pull somebody in through magic. You want to get rid of somebody based on magic. As if life doesn't go on if you don't have these people in your life, or if they're not a part of your life. Like your life is such a disaster that you need to kind of, whatever magic you're doing, do something against their free will. Like it does not make sense to me. But I digress. I've already given my 2 cents when people are affiliated with things that goes against the human free will. Um, it is about this specific person. I'm gonna be petty for like 1 or 2 minutes for however. It's not gonna be long, okay? Um, as I was meditating and doing my whole nature work situation, which I do from time to time, it's really good for you to walk and be around nature and so on. And so I always advise that. Um, I like to tend to be extra close to nature during my moon cycle. Okay, and also when the sun is out, but especially during that time and those times. And I did that. Come to find out, I felt the urge to get junk food. Now, for me personally, I get junk food. It's not a habit of mine, but I don't mind it, especially during PMS mode. These were not one of those days or times. So when I felt the urge to go there, my consciousness was like, but why? There's food at home. You made freaking dinner yesterday. You know, what is it really that you're something looking for, right? There are certain things within food, specifically junk food, that can trigger an addiction. Okay, food addiction is very prevalent here. This is not what this is, but like, yes, I'm gonna be quite technical right now, but like gluten. Okay, there's a chemical within gluten that makes one obsessed with all things that are gluten related. Okay, that's why a lot of people um, they prefer. I would say this: they don't prefer gluten-free options such as gluten-free bread. They don't want the real one because it hasn't. It's not nothing to do with it being a norm, okay, but more so with doing of the addictive chemical within gluten that wants us human beings to eat that, okay. Um, Another thing I can give as an example is the vegan episode or vegetarian episode in The Simpsons when Lisa was trying to get her family to eat this because they were out of meat or there was something wrong with the meat. There was like a pox or something, um, like a virus or something, meat, some sort of like illness going on with meat during the episode during the time. So they had no choice but to resort to eating like Lisa, okay, and she's a full-on vegetarian, and it was so funny how they love the food, right? But like 1 or 2 hours later, all of them were like on the toilet and, purging, diarrhea, vomiting, etc., etc. And that's because all of that is also symbolic for you getting rid of anything that's tox, tox, not good for you. Okay, like toxins. Oh my, I can't even speak. But um, when you eat healthy for quite a bit or abstain from something such as food related things that it's not for your highest and best good, over time your body is going to reject that, feel some type of way. For me, gluten is one of those things where it's like, honey, this is not it, okay? But what I wanted to say with this, the reason I got attacked today and the aftermath was me buying things that I knew it wasn't for my highest and best good, but it's not like I it's like a disaster if I do or not, but I have my routine on how I do certain things, as you guys have heard. So after all of this analyzing in my head, like, do I really need to do that when, I have this and that at home and we're already prepped? I did it anyways. I didn't think much of it because sometimes you fall short. This is not the case. After when I came home, my spirit guys were like, they already showed me, I was up, but I'm not the type of person that's gonna pinpoint every little thing that goes on energy wise as a sign because you have to be grounded. That's why I always say when you see something that is sign related to make sure it comes in threes and patterns. Anyone that kind of goes on and say that you see 1111 ones or spirit animal ones, that is factual. No, making sure it becomes a repetitive um, frequency for you so you keep your mental health in check. Okay, you stay grounded because not everything that you hear at first sight is the way to go. It's almost like you're applying for a job. They call you immediately, and you're going to take that just because you're first in the line. Make sure why you're picking that job and why they're even so desperate to reach out to you in the first beginning. Because people and things can be tricking and tricksters out here. Okay, that's also something that's very true, and you learn that as we go. Hey, perhaps all of this was me getting on air and being petty and choosing to make this a learning experience. So I guess it's a win. A win is a win. But like I said, I bought this so-called special um, meal of mine, pescatarian meal, and was it good? Yeah. Was it worth it? I want to say good. Did it taste good? Yes. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. But the plan of this person that did this love spell, and I say love spell because they wanted me to be in a vibration where it's like, if I'm on their level, maybe, I can kind of link back to how I used to be, and then we're gonna operate on the same frequency. Yeah. Um, it's interesting when it's. I really hope you don't know me, but I think if you do want to know me, this is not the way to go. Okay, and if you do know me, this is also not the way to go. Because number one, anyone that does anything spell worthy against me because of my purpose and my mission in life, this won't fly good. If my own family can get consequences for what they do, best believe everybody else is outside that circle will do so. Okay? if not even worse. I don't know how my spirit team retaliates, but I do know that it never misses a door. Um, it might not be today, tomorrow, but it's gonna be someday. I don't know what altitude, but in some way, shape, or form, okay? Again, I say there is like 8 billion people on this earth. Use any energy you have towards anyone, in this case, me, towards yourself for the betterment of yourself, okay? Like, it's that simple. Maybe if I was like a regular smuggler person, a muggle, things would be different. But it is what it is. I didn't choose this life, you know? Just like you don't choose to be born. It happens. So make something out of yourself. Start loving yourself instead of want to force somebody to make you theirs. Go against their free will. I'm also tuning into that if you have been on this for a while and today was the some sort of result, this is gonna mess up your mental state, okay? And I'm not saying this to be like low vibration or morbid or anything, but it just if you put out spirituality for a sec, if you're gonna force something upon somebody and they say no, they have no interest. Like in reality, what would that make you out to be? If you approach somebody and they keep saying no and you keep on going after them, like make it make sense. How will people view you? If you were to tell somebody that I'm still going after them while they say no, they want nothing to do with me, but I'm still going to go after them, like how does it make you look, feel? Maybe you don't have a circle. Think about it if it happened to you or somebody you don't want to deal with. How would you react? How would you feel? It's absurd. It's bizarre, bro. Like I can't even. So yeah, this is gonna mess up your mental space. Uh, well, mental state. Sorry, and because what I was getting my information from today, whatever mental state you were in prior to this, and to get to this point, the aftermath will not be any better. Okay, and I feel like for your mind to not be stable because of this, it will not serve you in any way, shape, or good. This is why I'm telling you to focus on yourself and self love. But you will get consequences because everything has repercussions. There is cause and effect um, when it comes to certain things, especially this, okay? And hey, perhaps you wanted me to be reactive and be angry. Like, I'm not. I just, it's so silly to me. It really is, though. Especially if you know me, because I'm looking here like if you really know me, absolutely, you would have never thought about this. Like, no matter how we parted ways, like, ain't no way. If you know me, you know my belief system, you know how I operate in life, you would never. So I'm quite disappointed. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And if it's somebody I do not know, well, I don't think that's the case though. But if it's the case, hey, maybe if somebody else want to see, let me see if I can try. Listen, I have a bigger mission on this planet than a lot of people. Okay, and not to be considering anything, but I don't get to where I am just because. Okay, I don't do things just because. I don't follow the mainstream just because. Everything is kind of bigger than what you guys are perceiving and knowing it to be. But I know we gotta keep our feet on the ground. So logically, don't do what you don't do in this reality and don't expect consequences for the things that you can do spiritually and you think that there will be no consequences. Like, make it make sense. There are spiritual laws and there are earthly laws. It's all equally the same when it comes to getting judged. Okay? There was a spiritual court, just like there was a normal court system. Everything is parallel. Yes, I said too much. I said too little. I said enough. So, with people that are a part of my collective, you guys know this is a rant. And if you ever faced anything of this nature or done anything of this nature, which I really hope not, but I digress. You know what it is, you know what's to come, you know what could happen, you know what did happen, okay? Take this as a learning experience if you want. If not, hey, you know what it is in the beginning, you know who it is for. And with that being said, thank you for stopping by as always.